We're live, we're local, we're CBS3.
Tonight, as school districts debate mask mandates, parents on both sides of the issue are speaking out. Plus, after months of debate, lawmakers in Washington are closing in on a vote for a massive infrastructure bill. And the president has big goals for the future of electric vehicles and hopes to increase how many are on our roads.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Welcome to the CBS3 News at 10. We are taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol tonight. The Senate could vote as soon as tonight to end debate on the trillion-dollar bipartisan infrastructure bill, with the top Senate Democrat hoping for final passage by the end of the week. Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. Today, the Congressional Budget Office said the measure, as it stands, would add billions of dollars to the deficit over the next decade. Natalie Brand has more from Capitol Hill.
Okay.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer signaled he's hoping for a final vote on the bipartisan physical infrastructure package this weekend.
Our goal is to pass both a bipartisan infrastructure bill and a budget resolution during this work period.
Senators have considered more than 20 amendments so far to the bill, which includes $550 billion in new spending on transportation, broadband, water, and power systems. Thursday, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office released its analysis of the legislation, estimating it would add around $256 billion to projected deficits over the next 10 years. 17 Senate Republicans voted to move the bipartisan measure forward 1 week ago, but some GOP senators have raised concern about the price tag.
They'll say over and over again that this bill is paid for, but when you look at the pay-fors, they don't add up.
Meanwhile, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says the bill could become a bipartisan success story, but he has bashed Senate Democrats' $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation measure, which focuses on what they call human infrastructure.
Democrats are about to tell Republicans to go take a hike and start teeing up trillions more dollars in borrowing and spending.
The Senate is scheduled to begin August recess next week, but lawmakers are expected to stay in town to continue work on both infrastructure measures. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Two senators who worked on the bipartisan infrastructure bill, Republican Rob Portman and Democrat Kyrsten Sinema, released a statement this evening saying the CBO report doesn't take into account all of their estimated savings and revenue. Tonight, President Biden is hoping to jumpstart the switch to electric vehicles. His new executive order sets an ambitious goal. Half of all vehicles sold should be electric by 2030. But accelerating the transition to EVs may not be so quick. Americans still love their gas guzzlers. Trucks, vans, and SUVs make up 3/4 of new sales so far this year. EVs are just 2%. Today, the Environmental Protection Agency proposed stricter new emission standards for cars and trucks designed to force automakers to build and sell more electric cars.
We're ushering in new advanced technologies that will not only increase and enhance performance, but also reduce climate pollutants and health-based pollutants.
In the United States, transportation is the single largest source at 29% of planet-warming greenhouse gas emissions. EPA claims the new clean car standards would avoid 2.2 billion tons of carbon emissions from vehicles by 2050. The president of the country's largest federation of unions died today. AFL-CIO President Richard Trumka died of a heart attack at the age of 72. He was an influential voice in politics and a champion for workers' rights. AFL-CIO has more than 12 million members in 56 unions, including mining, teachers, firefighters, and many others. Well, Dave is here for a first check of the weather. Dave, we actually got some rain today.
Yeah, I'll show a chart in a little bit on how much we got around the region so far, because we're not quite done with it yet. A few more hours possible tonight, and then a break tomorrow, followed by more rain for the weekend. Now, earlier this evening, we had some storms in northern Minnesota and even northern Wisconsin. bubbled just under the severe threshold. So they didn't quite cause any warnings, but did cause a couple of special statements of look out. For example, from Palo over towards Fairbanks and then swinging towards Silver Bay here in northern Minnesota, it seemed like that line of storms ran the Town Line Road, which of course I've driven on many a time back in the day. So that alert towards thunderstorms has been dropped in the last few minutes, but we're still looking at an air quality alert for Minnesota all the way through 9 o'clock tomorrow night. So we shook off the smoke problem for a couple of hours last night and today, but then it came back again. Now, looking at the upper Midwest situation, here's what we had. First of the two lows we talked about past couple of days came through this morning, brought some rain. Then that second low working through the area right now has brought some rain and could do so till about 1 o'clock in the morning. Then higher pressure to the west will settle in briefly for Friday, making it partly sunny and dry for the short term. So tonight, there's anywhere from a 40 to 70% chance for at least one more round of rain. Then tomorrow is partly sunny and 75. By Saturday, the rain chance goes back up again. I'll talk about what the odds of precip payoff are for that go about coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. After announcing plans to mandate the COVID-19 vaccine for employees starting September 1st, St. Luke says it's prepared to work with those who don't want to get it. Marla Halverson, Director of Human Resources for St. Luke, says they're hoping to provide clarity to those employees about some of the common myths about the vaccine. Any employee who still refuses to get the shot or files an exemption will fail to meet the qualifications of employment, and the hospital will recognize that as a voluntary resignation. Halverson says they plan to do everything they can to avoid losing employees, and they want to address any concerns that come up.
Our first plan is to ensure that there aren't medical or religious exemptions that an employee is considering, and so we'll work through that individually with people as we have with the influenza vaccine.
An ER nurse at a clinic south of Duluth who asked to remain anonymous has yet to receive the vaccine. She says she's concerned about the shot not yet being FDA approved.
Obviously, we've never experienced any type of technology used on humans before. Like, there's never been a vaccine like this before. So it's very normal for people to be leery about it.
Though not fully approved yet, the FDA has authorized the COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use and says it has been rigorously tested. Well, Moderna is looking for full government approval for its COVID-19 vaccine. The company is planning to submit its application to the FDA this month. Right now, the vaccine has emergency use authorization. Moderna is also considering applying for approval to administer a third booster dose of the COVID vaccine, upping people's protection against the virus. The St. Louis County Attorney's Office has ruled the police shooting and killing of a standoff suspect was justified. On February 26, St. Louis County deputies shot 37-year-old David Conwell during a violent 19-hour standoff in Duluth's Lincoln Park neighborhood. Police say Conwell had felony warrants and refused to surrender when they initially arrived to investigate a report of domestic violence. There were multiple rounds of gunfire between Conwell, Duluth police, and county deputies. Conwell shot and killed K-9 Luna. Ultimately, officers shot and killed him, ending the standoff. No other officers were hurt. And today, St. Louis County Attorney Mark Rubin ruled the deadly shooting by deputies objectively reasonable, justified, and authorized under the law. He also ruled the gunfire from other officers involved was justified as well. Today, the Duluth Fire Department conducted its first hands-on training in more than a year. Police identified the, excuse me, we'll get to that story a little bit later on. Meanwhile, police identified the 5 Hibbing residents arrested after a month-long investigation. Officers arrested 51-year-old Blake Stengel, 58-year-old Cheryl Ruiz, 50-year-old Ralph Hobrick, and 36-year-old Timothy Jordan, along with 19-year-old Heaven Anderson last Saturday. 3 were arrested after a traffic stop in Itasca County uncovered a large quantity of meth. 2 others were arrested during a search warrant at a home in Hibbing. Numerous agencies were involved in investigating the distribution of methamphetamine on the Iron Range. All 5 suspects are in the St. Louis County Jail facing drug charges. Well, back to this story. Today, the Duluth Fire Department conducted its first hands-on training in more than a year. The pandemic forced training exercises like the one today to be put on the back burner. Firefighter and training instructor Damian Lorian told us why the return of this hands-on training is so important.
The equipment operators are getting the ability to pump hose lines and supply water, and then the captains are getting the opportunity to see their crews in action and practice communication and coordination with other companies.
For the past year, Duluth firefighters have only been able to train within their own company. This training gives them the opportunity to get used to working together.
As far as today's temperatures went, they went 1 degree warmer than normal, at least at the airport in Duluth. Tomorrow may come up about 3 degrees cooler than normal, setting a temperature trend for the weekend of the 70s. But 80s could return next week, and rain showers could return to your town over the next couple of hours, then come back for the weekend with a vengeance or something gentler. We'll talk about those theories coming up after our break.
Want to lose fat quickly? Lose up to 1 pound of fat a day.
My name is John. I've lost 38 pounds with Healthy Systems USA, and it's the easiest program I've ever done.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
Uh-oh, that food container won't contain your food, so you mess with cling wraps and foil, hoping food won't spoil. Well, not anymore. Now there's Stretch and Fresh containers, the amazing food storage containers with stretch and fit lids that let you store more. Even the odd-shaped foods you couldn't put in containers before. Just stretch over the food and snap lock the lid to keep food fresh. There's even a freshness date dial to track storage time. It comes in the sizes you need to store all the foods you want with amazing storage capacity. It's freezer and microwave safe, and the containers nest for compact, stacked, space-saving storage. And right now, the 6-piece set is yours for just $19.95, and the shipping is free. But wait, call now and we'll double the offer and send a second set. Just pay a separate fee. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-378-1232 or go to trystretchandfresh.com. That's 1-800-378-1232 or order online at trystretchandfresh.com.
There's a safe way to protect kids 12 and up from COVID-19.
So why did we get her a COVID-19 vaccine?
So I could see my friends again.
For our family trip.
To keep them safe.
Help your kids be kids again, safely. Visit vaccines.gov to find a COVID-19 vaccine near you, or call 211 to learn more.
Your home improvement company has industry-leading materials and warranties on all of our window and bathroom products. We also certify all of our installers in our Installation Training Center. Right now, we are offering 20% off all products and 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2023. Call us today or go online to book your appointment. If you want your project done right the first time, go with your home improvement company where it's your home made better.
I have lost 25 pounds and I'm still going strong. Super easy. You follow the program and you lose weight. It's just that simple.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
CBS3 Weather is brought to you by Lulich Implement.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Over the past couple of hours, we had some interesting weather in Minnesota and in Wisconsin. Not quite powerful enough to be called severe, but it did get a little thundery over a good portion of the area from the Boundary Waters down towards the East Mesabi Range and then towards the North Shore as well. And then this cold front coming through tonight kicked up some storms in northern Wisconsin too, especially in southern Burnett County where some clouds did start to rotate a little bit. So we've been keeping an eye on that. Well, we still have up till about 1 o'clock in the morning for a follow-up round or two of rain and thunderstorms. But in the meantime, here's the rain totals we've received so far today. A little under a 1/4 inch for International Falls, a little more than a 1/4 inch for Hibbing, only a 1/10 for Ely and Aiken. But 4/10 for the Twin Ports, almost 4/10 in Two Harbors, a 1/3 of an inch in Solon Springs. Siren, just a notch below 1 inch straight up, but really just a trace in Hayward. And the reason we're not seeing any numbers for Ashland or Ironwood yet, that line of potential showers and storms still working towards that neck of the woods. So much needed rain could come across there as well before the night is through. The night right now says at the airport in Duluth, the current temp is 67. The relative humidity up towards 90%. So overnight tonight, if you're traveling, watch out for patchy fog, especially closer to the lake. Westerly winds going 8 miles per hour. Air pressure's on the lower side at 29.84 inches of mercury as the second of 3 low pressure systems works by our area. Current temps, well, they say we're in the 60s in the Upper Peninsula. For examples, 64 Watersmeet, 66 for Ironwood, and I'll bet it's not that much different in Hurley, Wisconsin, or over towards Bessemer, Wakefield, either great towns like that. 67 for La Pointe, and I'll bet Redcliffe is similar as long as we're going that route, and same deal for Bayfield. 68 Ashland, and then 64 to 67 from Solon Springs to Hayward, with Superior in the middle of the pack. It's also 66 in Cloquet, low 60s, almost mid-60s Moose Lake, 60s up the North Shore, and 60s on the Iron Range. Bottom line is low temps tonight, maybe dropping into the 50s well inland, but lower 60s for much of the rest of the region. And followed tomorrow by high temps probably in the 70s for most places, though 80 is possible away from the lake. Now we get a look at our Doppler map here. That second low pressure system, it's centered up to the north of our region. There's that cold front that came through earlier this evening, driving the rain showers that popped up in northern Minnesota and Wisconsin as well. Fading away at the moment, but still could keep going till about 1 o'clock in the morning, as again, that second low pressure system works through the region. Then higher pressure wedges in behind it for tomorrow, bringing a partly sunny sky for our Friday. But the third low, that gets here for Saturday and for Sunday, bringing back upwards of 40 to 60% chances for showers and storms. And if some towns got a 1/4 of an inch of rain today, there's a good chance on Sunday a 1/2 inch could come across. And of course, every town needs that rain. Hopefully we share that precip bounty with every town as well before things do dry up again by Tuesday. So that means Monday does have a chance for a little bit of precip, but probably not that much. Tonight in Minnesota, there's the low temps in the 50s inland, 60s by the lake, 40% chance for showers and storms. Still exists for Minnesota until about midnight. And it still exists to 1 o'clock in the morning for Wisconsin and the UP with low temps there around 60. Still a 60% storm chance for that part of our world. Tomorrow, partly sunny, Wisconsin, Michigan, high 77 to 80. Minnesota, partly sunny with low 70s by the lake and 75 to 80 farther inland. Extended forecast shows if we have this weekend in the 70s, we go back into the 80s by Monday. And our rain chance after tonight's comes back on Saturday. The best chance will be on Sunday. Then it dries up by Tuesday, Kristen.
All right. Hey, you know, it's never a bad thing for us to get a little bit of rain. We could certainly use it.
Yeah, indeed. You know, there's never a perfect time for it to come, but sometimes we just have to grin and bear it.
That's true. We sure do. Thanks, Dave. Although it's only August, farmers are already thinking about this year's Christmas tree supply, which could be low for the next 5 or 10 years. Farmer Doug's Tree Farm in Duluth says their new tree seedlings planted in spring this year have been struggling since the drought began. Workers of the farm say they've seen a higher tree mortality rate than usual due to frost on Memorial Day and an ongoing drought season. Owner Doug Hoffbauer says the tree supply is great this year since they are harvesting ones they planted 7 years ago. But the concern lies in the trees they've just planted to be harvested years later.
The 1-year-old or just this year's planting, they really haven't established roots to find enough water to keep them going. So we've had a lot of mortality, way higher than normal.
They had to cut down more than half of their trees already due to that lack of rain, stunting seedling growth. Moving forward, Doug hopes for more rain so everyone can have a real Christmas tree for years to come. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, do you have what it takes to go to space? A new reality TV show wants to put you to the test. We'll have the details next.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Kenzie Holman tells us about the Essentia Health Specialty Pharmacy, which manages medications for complex and chronic conditions.
Specialty pharmacy is an ambulatory pharmacy service like a traditional retail pharmacy. The big difference is in the conditions that we treat and the medications that we're providing. Specialty medications tend to be more complex in administration, in their regimen, or simply have more difficult side effects to manage. Patients that are receiving specialty medications include oncology, hematology, multiple sclerosis, a number of chronic inflammatory diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, Crohn's disease, as well as other conditions like growth hormone deficiency.
The specialty pharmacy team at Essentia includes professionals who assist and advocate for patients, saving them millions of dollars over the years.
Many of the specialty medications are very high cost, and so our navigators and liaisons are very integral in helping the patients access these high cost therapies. I think one of the most fulfilling pieces is helping patients, connect them with the resources that allow them to be successful with their medications. Patients can get their medications delivered directly to their home, or they can pick it up at any of our 21 pharmacy locations. Our pharmacy locations can provide over-the-counter medications or non-specialty prescriptions as well, and patients can get their meds by curbside delivery at those locations if they choose.
The specialty pharmacy is located in Superior, but serves patients from all over. For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentiahealth.org/medical insight.
When we ask you to shop Prime Appliance, we want you to experience a real appliance store where we have hundreds of brand name appliances always ready to go during our in-stock sale. Get these full-size capacity LG front-load laundry pairs, just $18.98 with an electric dryer and $19.98 in gas. You don't have to order these GE built-in dishwashers starting at just $4.99. Financing and delivery always available. Prime Appliance, it's a real appliance store and the best place to buy your appliances. Let us prove it to you.
Get your new John Deere tractor from Duluth Lawn and Sport, the region's largest power sports dealer.
What does local mean to you?
To me, local means getting your news from people who you trust. I'm Kristen Bakke, Chisholm native, UWS grad, and Twin Ports proud.
Local news for local people on Live Local CBS3.
CBS3 Sports is brought to you by Northland Lawn Sport and Equipment.
You may be able to take a flight into space without being a billionaire like Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos. You would just have to beat out the competition in some possible new reality shows. 2 shows in development aim to send a winner to the International Space Station. Who Wants to Be an Astronaut has the potential backing of the Discovery Channel. That show would pit competitors against each other in a series of unknown extreme challenges to determine who is most fit to go to the ISS for 8 days. Right now, there's no guarantee either show would actually be able to launch a winner into space. Sounds like there would be a lot of hoops to jump through to make that happen.
To make it happen?
Yeah.
Also, have you ever seen a space movie where things went super peachy keen? No. People get lost out there. Houston, we have a problem. It's just not a good thing.
And going to space used to be, you know, you had to have the training of an astronaut.
Yeah.
And now...
It's not for average Joes like us.
Space is not for the faint of heart. All right.
No. No. Well, coming up next in sports, a gold medal-worthy welcome home. See how Minnesota welcomed home Suni Lee from Tokyo, plus an update from the Olympics.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's national sales event.
Right now, you can get 2.49% APR financing for 60 months, plus $750 TFS APR cash on a new 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Highlander. Toyota. Let's go places.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? Well, relax. The Carefree dental card is now available in your area. Call the number on your screen and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree dental card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. The Carefree dental card is just $15.95 a month. So call now and make going to the dentist carefree.
Call 1-800-945-8449 to receive your free Carefree dental card information kit.
We've got new information now explaining why.
Why should ordinary Americans care what's happening here in Ukraine?
Deep divisions remain.
Elizabeth, why did they kick you out?
They are expecting public unrest.
Why are they releasing these videos now?
Police are pushing us back.
We found one hell of a story of survival.
That's why you have to do your own research to get to the truth.
Hi, my name is Matt Koshbril, and I'm the new co-director of the Duluth Superior Film Festival. One of the main goals of the Duluth Superior Film Festival is to cultivate an independent film scene. Right now, there's a lot of exciting things happening with film production in our region here in northern Minnesota. The Duluth Superior Film Festival team believes that it's very important to have films told from our region by the people of our region, and we want to get those stories out there.
The Royal Enfield Bullet was designed in 1955 and not updated until 2008. It takes an experienced hand to keep one running. I've ridden in the rain and the snow, but prefer not to. That's why motorcycles and meteorology go together so well. It also takes an experienced hand to make an accurate riding forecast. As our region's longest-serving meteorologist, I think I have the touch needed to get it right.
Watch Dave Anderson weeknights at 5, 6, and 10.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers get paid training to keep the power flowing, engines running, and supplies moving. Army National Guard soldiers are learning skills that can set them up for success with companies looking to hire the best.
The Army National Guard basically built my resume for me.
Find out how you can learn a trade and serve part-time for your community and country by visiting nationalguard.com.
Welcome home, Team USA. Two of Minnesota's medal-winning Olympians returned home to great fanfare earlier today. Gymnast Sunisa Lee of St. Paul and Isante's Grace McCallum were greeted by cheers, applause, and USA chants at MSP Airport. Lee, the first Hmong American Olympian, brought home a gold medal in the women's all-around competition over in Tokyo. She also won bronze on the uneven bars. Lee and McCallum helped the United States take silver in the team competition. Governor Tim Walz and St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter gave Lee her own day just a few weeks ago after her gold medal win. And the United States leads all countries in current Olympic Games medal count. The U.S. keeps adding to its lead in the medal count at the Olympics with 91. China's second with 74. CBS News' Jamie Yukas is in Tokyo with the latest.
The U.S. women's soccer team beat Australia for the bronze. Megan Rapinoe and Carly Lloyd were looking for redemption after losing to Canada in the semifinal.
I think it was important for everybody to hear that this third place game that we're fighting for is just as important if we were in a gold medal match. And the way you saw us come out and play, that was the U.S. mentality.
Brianna Scurry won gold with Team USA in 1996 and 2004.
USA's ability to rebound from the big loss against Canada and win the bronze says a lot about their character.
Ryan Krauser won gold in shot put as his family cheered back home in Oregon. He dedicated the win to his grandfather, who died shortly before the Tokyo Games, and introduced him to the sport.
And U.S. star runner Allison Felix will run in the 400 meters tomorrow morning, our time. If she places in the top 3, that would mark 10 medals to her name, becoming the most decorated female track and field athlete ever to participate in the Olympic Games. And folks, it's time to start talking high school football. Over in Wisconsin, the Superior football team opted to play their 2020 football season this past spring. That was after COVID-19 complicated things last fall. Now, just 3 months later, they're right back to it for the 2021 season. It was a strange 6-game spring season that went relatively well for the Spartans. They went 5-1 against some teams that normally wouldn't play, but this fall they'll look a little different. Their star quarterback, running back combo of Caden Kimmis and Carter Fonger have moved on, and now a group of seniors will have to step up. Head coach Bob DeMeyer says he has a few quarterbacks competing for the job. He's hoping to make that call by next Friday when they have a scrimmage against Wrights Lake.
I love the way that we responded last spring, and we've talked to the kids this year now about hitting the ground running and picking up where we left off. And keeping that momentum going, and so far early on here, that's been the way it is.
We got a lot of people returning on defense. I feel like we'll be able to make a big impact on defense this season. I really like our group. I'm really confident in our abilities, and I feel like we'll all be able to step up in big moments and stuff like that.
I think the offensive line's going to be pretty good this year. We've got a strong group of kids coming back, and Ross Revord and our wideouts, our quarterbacks, everything. I feel like we've got a really good group.
And rain or shine, the Huskies were back at home for the last stretch of the regular season, hosting the lacrosse Loggers. As the Huskies hang on to their playoff potential, they are also repping some new attire, celebrating St. Luke's Employee Appreciation Night tonight. Loggers lit things up in the top of the first, though, scoring 7 runs right out of the gate. Then Calvin Halverson strikes with a single of his own to get things rolling for the Navy and White in the bottom of the second. Same inning, new batter, and another big snapper, this time reeled in by Ryan McDonald for the base hit. Loggers still with the hefty lead, but bases loaded now, and it's all-star Mike Boev smacking a double. That'll bring home a pair of runs. Huskies begin to chip away at the lead. It was 7-3 in the bottom of the second, but at last check, it was 18-6 in the bottom of the seventh in favor of the Loggers. That's going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
What's so extreme about the DQ Reese's Extreme Blizzard? How about all the Reese's you could dream of, with classic creamy Reese's peanut butter cups and crunchy Reese's Pieces? Plus, you guessed it, peanut butter topping and chocolatey topping. All blended in world-famous DQ soft serve for a treat that takes your favorite combo to a whole new level. Wow, what a rush. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Celebrate summer with a certified vehicle from Carey Toyota in Superior. Head for the hills in this 2017 Highlander Limited, or drive away in a certified 2018 RAV4 Hybrid. Prefer a larger SUV? Check out this certified 2021 4Runner TRD Off-Road, or choose a certified 2018 Tundra Limited for all your outdoor adventures. Inventory is constantly changing, so hurry in to Carey Toyota in Superior to lock in your 2021 summer driving fun while supplies last. You can also ask about our rental vehicles. Carey Toyota in Superior, voted best car dealer 22 times.
Kristen Bakke is as local as our evening news.
I'm from here. This is my home. I learned how to do a left-handed layup right there. At that hoop, that exact hoop.
Covering the communities she calls home too.
You know, there's nothing phony about it. That's who she is. She's just a natural at it, so I enjoy watching her because she's so good at what she does.
Leaders at Hibbing Taconite are scrambling at the Menorca Mining family heritage and iron mining history.
For everything local, watch Kristen Bakke on Live Local CBS3.
I got into journalism when I was in high school, actually, and that's where I really fell in love with the news and the storytelling aspect of it, being able to bring those things together and keep people informed. It's so important for us to be in a community like Duluth, to be able to hear your stories and then bring them to everybody else in the community.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Bakke, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Bakke. Tuesdays at 10 only on Live Local CBS3. Brought to you by Range Regional Airport.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Well, once again, masks are required in all Duluth public school buildings. This policy goes into effect on Monday and applies to all students, district staff, and the public, regardless of vaccination status. As of right now, Duluth Public Schools have not announced if masks will be required for the upcoming school year. But preparations were put into motion tonight at the board's policy committee meeting, where they discussed changes to the current mask mandate. Superintendent John Magus said they want to make this policy flexible so the masks can come on and off depending on the state of the pandemic. The official mask decision will be made at the August 24th school board meeting, and we will hear from parents as well as more from the superintendent tomorrow morning on CBS3 This Morning. Well, Dave, are we expecting any more rain tonight?
You know, we have about 2.5 more hours worth of rain chances that could redevelop. Earlier today, though, some towns got upwards of a ½ inch of rain, 1/4 to a ½ inch for a lot of places, but not every place. Hopefully after a dry break tomorrow, we'll get another rain chance coming around for Saturday and for Sunday. And Sunday looks to be the pick of the litter with the best chance for a soaking rain coming across, because by Monday, then we just work our way down to a couple of drizzles. Then it gets a little bit sunnier beginning already by Tuesday.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.